أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. So here we are with another session of our basic surf, and inshallah we are starting with we are going to learn about the other word patterns that can be derived from family one. And today, inshallah, we are going to focus on ism at-tafdeel. So when it comes to the six small families, there are even more additional benefits that can be extracted from them. And we have seen so far that we have derived almost everything we have derived from the larger families. Um, we have derived فعل ماضي, فعل مضارع, مصدر, ism file, and we have learned about the passives, the commands, forbidding, and we have learned about multiple zarf. We have also learned about ism ala. So there are even additional benefits that this is really where the expansion of the Arabic language comes from. So let's learn a few basic stuff that we will become more um, you can say they will be engraved in your vocabulary as we are going to study the Quran. So let's learn about Ism Tafdeel. You can say that we are going to learn about the comparatives and the superlatives in Arabic language, and they are on the pattern of Ism Tafdeel. So what is Ism Tafdeel? So you can say that it is used to compare two things and highlight the superiority of one over the other. A comparative word is a word used to compare two nouns. Examples of comparative words we have seen in English: greater, stronger, or shorter than, or phrases like more truthful or more trustworthy, more beautiful, like that. So we have learned these we have already, you can say, have learned ism tafdeel in English. So now today, inshallah, we will see that how these patterns are formed in Arabic language. So you can say that this can indicate the highest degree of equality as well. Words like those with the ending of est, like greatest, wisest, strongest, they are used for the superlatives. So, ism tabdeel can be used as the words that are used for the comparison. They can be comparatives or they can be superlatives. So, let's see what are the few points that we can learn for ism at-tafdeel. The first most important thing that we are going to learn about them is that they are on the pattern of af'alu. They are on the pattern of af'alu. So we know that this is in the study of the surf that words following the pattern like afalu includes can include like azlamu, akbaru, asgharu, aksaru, ahsanu. These are all on the pattern of afalu. So now, if you are going to see words like that, you will learn that this is on the these all words are on the pattern of ism of tabdeel. Like you can see the word akbaru. Ism tabdeel means an ism that can be derived in surf that has an a in the beginning. As you can see, all the words have this hamza with the fatha in the starting. So ism tabdeel, you can say these are all isms, these are all nouns in the surf that begins with this, this alif or hamza in the beginning, and it rhymes you can say these all word rhymes with akbaru, asgharu, aksaru, ahsanu, aslamu, and we are going to use this as a default word. You can say akbaru, afalu, akbaru. because you have listened to it in the azan all the times. Allahu Akbar. So for the different families, the isim tafdeel will be like, as we can say that they can be derived. We are learning about family one, so this isim tafdeel are derived from the fi'l madi salasi mujarrad. So for different families, like from daraba we have adrabu, from fataha we have aftahu, from nasara we have ansaru, from samia we have asma'u, and as mentioned, that so these are all the variations from each of the families that we have memorized. What it means, like, you see these words, they will give the meanings of more or most, or for the comparatives we have the er in the ending in English, and for the superlatives we have the est in the endings, or most. Commonly we use the word most before the words. So um, it's a comparative word, actually means more, meaning bigger. Like adrabu, for example, we are taking the word adrabu. If daribun is someone who hits, adrabu is someone who hits more. As I said, that they are going to intensify the word by adding more or most. For comparatives, we use more, and for the superlatives, we use most. So from the Daraba family, we have Darabun. It's a file. So if someone is Darabun, and if someone who hits more, we are going to say Adrabu, like Akbaru, more, greater, or greater. We can say that. So the interesting thing about this ism tafdeel is that the meaning of this word can sometimes be the opposite meaning, meaning the one meaning the one who gets hit more. So it could be the one who hits more. And it can sometimes also mean the one who gets hit more. Similarly, we can say the word Ahmad means who praises more, but it can also mean the one who is praised more. So you can have an active comparative meaning or a passive comparative meaning at the same time. That depends on the context, and the context would tell us that whether it is a passive or it is a active word. That depends on the context. Also, you can there are some other points that we are going to learn, that how a comparative can be changed into a superlative. So after the pattern, we learn that they are on the pattern on of afalu. We see the words like, so whenever you see the words like these, they are all on the pattern of this afalu, and they are isim tafdeel. We know that the fi'l mudari starts with the four letters that we learn, Noon, Hamza, Ya, and Ta. So sometimes it gets confusing for this, but as I mentioned, that these words are extracted by the context. Context is going to tell you that whether it is a Fa'ili Mudari or it is Ism Tabdil. Inshallah, we are going to see the examples. The next thing that you are going to remember for Ism Tafdil is that they are partly flexible. We call them mamnu min sarf in Arabic. They are partly flexible words. They are not fully flexible. And we know that how we can recognize that these words are partly flexible. There are two qualities of the partly flexible, that they cannot have the mean, and they cannot have a kasra. So, but there are some, as you know, that there are always exceptions, and we know that there are two ways, or there are 2 points when we come across when those party flexible words, those mamnu min as-sarf words, can take kasra. We know that they can't take kasras, they cannot, and they cannot take tanween. So the two ways in which the mamnu min as-sarf can take kasras is like that, if they have al and if they are mudaf, right? Okay, so we have already learned this, but this is just a quick review, that the mamnu min as-sarf words can take kasras if they have al before them, and if they are mudaf. The other thing that we are going to see for Ism Tafdeel is their feminine forms. So their feminine forms take the patterns of fa'ula. And for the speakers, it's very easy for them to remember, such as we have words or the names like Sughra, Husna in Arabic as well and Urdu as well. Sughra, Husna, Uzma, Kubra. These are all on the pattern of Ola. So the male version, the masculine form is on the pattern of Afalu. And for the feminine forms, they are on the pattern of Ola. And the examples are here. Sughra, Husna, Uzma, and Kubra, and more. So, as we have always come across for, exceptions in every rule in the Arabic language, so there are two exceptions that you mostly see. Those two words are sharrun and khairun. They were originally the words akhyaru and asharu, but or you can say asharru in originally, but because we are going to we use now khairun and sharun, we can say that because I have said so, and because these two words are fully flexible. Sharun and khairun, these are two exceptions that you are going to remember, that their original forms are not used now, because we can say that the Arabs don't use them now, and they are very rarely used in some of the classic Arabic books, but they are not used now. So Khairun and Sharun are the two exceptions, and they are, as you can see, that they carry the tanween. So that means they are fully flexible. So these are two exceptions. The masculine pattern is on the on afalu. You can say wasn't, and the feminine forms are on the wazn of fola. You can say that these words are isim tafdeel are mamnu min as-sarf. They are partly flexible, but you have exceptions like khairun and sharun. And these words, as you can see from their tanween, they are fully flexible. As we are doing family one, and we see that these are the different patterns. These are the exceptional or exclusive patterns that we are learning in the Fi'l Madi Salasi Mujarrad. So they can only be formed in this family one. We cannot see them in Salasi Mazid, because this is exclusive to family one only. And also remember that when we see some colors or the body defects, that is not the description for them. They are just we call them, they are the names or the nouns for the colors, and for the body defects. So ism tafdeel as comparatives. Let's see here. This gives comparison between nouns, and it needs harf min before the noun. We'll see that the example over which the preference is being established. So here we are seeing ism tafdeel as comparative, and we see mostly this ism tafdeel is we see it with harf min. Like in the example from Surah Kahf, Ana aksaru minka malo wa a'azzu nafara. This is from Surah Kahf, ayah number 32, when the two gardeners were comparing each other, when the one was saying that I am greater than you in wealth and mightier in numbers of, or you can say nafaran, it is like in, you can say the manpower. So the one is saying to the other one that I'm greater than you in wealth, and I'm stronger than you in manpower. So ana aksaru minka malo wa azu nafara. So here we see two isim tafdeel as comparatives. First one, you can notice that they are with the harf min, because this is the comparison. You can see that this is the ER form we see here for the comparative. So aksaru minka malan wa azu nafara. So this malan, inshallah, we are going to, when we are going to start with tamyiz, we'll see that how this is just clarifying everything, that in what sense someone is greater than, or you can say lesser than someone. So this is another topic, inshallah, we are going to cover in Tamheez, that clarifies everything in the sentence. For now, just remember that you can see this word aksaru and azu, which is you can see that this is from mudaf when the uh, ain kalima and the lam kalima are same. Azu, it was originally you can say that um, az azu azu. So here there was a rule applied here that the this zal gave its fatha to ain, and that two zal become one, and that's how we get this shada. And the ain kalima and lam kalima are combined here, and this root letters are ain, zal, and zal. You can see here it is azu, and this is how we get this word. So aksaru, again, you can see this is ism tafdeel, and a'azzu is again ism tafdeel with the harf min, which is usually we see in the comparatives. So this gives a comparison between nouns, and for comparatives, we need harf min. This is another example. Waki harunu wa afsahu minni. هو أفسه مني لسانا. Again, you can see here. Um, and my brother Harun is more fluent than in what? In tongue, or you can say in his language. So this is again, we see tamyiz here. Inshallah, we are going to cover this topic as well. Now, for now, you see afsahu. This is on the pattern of afalu, akbaru. As I mentioned, that you can take akbaru and afsahu and afalu for your default patterns. So you can see afsahu. And as I mentioned, the context is going to tell you that this is not faili mudare, and it is the comparison is being done here. So this is isim tafdeel here. And my brother Harun is more fluent than me in tongue. So send him with me as support. فأرسلوا, this is Musa alayhi salam telling or asking or requesting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that uh, وأخي هارون وأفسه مني لسانا فأرسله معي رضا يصدقني إني أخاف أن يكذبون, verifying indeed I fear that they will deny me. So here أفسه you can see here used as اسم تفضيل. Now let's do some Arab practice for this ayah. قال أنا خير. Here you can see منه. So here I am better than him. Let's do the Iraq and we'll see that how we see ism tafdeel. And I have taken this example because here khairun is used and we know that this is ism tafdeel, and these are the exceptions that we see khairun and sharun in the Quran, and they are the ism tafdeel. So let's see the Arab. قال أنا خير منه. How we are going to write the Arab for this phrase. قال, we know that it is فعل ماضي, and we know that فعل ماضي are مبني. We can see the fatha here. So فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح. فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح. And inshallah we are going to write, we have learned this, alhamdulillah, we have learned this, that we need to add here file the main mustatir, and we know that with one here we write jawazan because it is allowed to have an outside door for the huwa in here version. That is why we see jawazan with huwa in here. So فعل ماضي ماضي مبني على الفتح والفاعل ضمير مستتر فيه جوازا تقديره هو. So قال أنا. أنا is here ضمير رفع منفصل. We know that it is the detached pronoun, so that is why منفصل is used here. ضمير رفع فاعل, and this is here منفصل. Again, you can see the sukoon here. So it is mabniyun ala sukoon. And we know that this is our mubtada fi mahalli rafa mubtada. This is in the place of this. We have also learned that after qala, everything that is said or written is maqulul qawl. So this is all the maqulul qawl. So damir rafa munfasil here mabni ala sukun fi mahalli rafa mubtada. Then we have khairun. Khairun, we know that it is the khabar of the mubtada ana, and it is marfoon bid-dhamma. We can see here وأصله أخير. We know that the asal of this word is akhiru, I aftal, on the pattern on aftalu, or you can say akbaru or afalu. And this alif is dropped because of the eloquency, or you can say this is like as I mentioned that we can simply say that the Arab said so. Now because the Arab are using khairun, so this word akhyarun, that is on akhyaru, that is on the pattern of ism tafdil, has this khairun, which is mostly used now. So we can say خبر خير is خبر أنا مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. You can add that part as well. Now minhu is jar majur muta'alliq bil khabar. We know that when we see the jar majur fragment with our jumla failure, this is muta'alliq bil khabar. This is muta'alliq bil khabar because this is the mubtada in khabar, and this is the jar majroor fragment for this jumla failure. Not for kala, but for this jumla jumla ismiya. Now we are going to see ism tabdil as superlatives. The superlative noun shows the complete supremacy of one over the other, and this is not the comparison between two, but everyone is involved. And the we are going to learn that how these superlatives are formed. Superlatives meanings can be achieved by adding the definite article al to ism tabdil. Simply, superlative must have an al on it. Remember that all the superlative that you see, they must have an al on them. The masculine superlatives you can say are on the pattern of al af'ala. Al af'alu, you can see this al akbara, akbaru, and they are morab. And the feminine superlatives are on the pattern of al fa'ala pattern, and they are also morab. So example we see here is akbaru means greater. So now adding al, it gives us al akbaru means the greatest. Now est is added because of this al. As I mentioned, the superlatives can be formed by just adding the article al. So again, you can put al on it and it becomes the superlatives. So in other words, akbaru means greater and al akbaru means the greatest. So we have as I mentioned that they are formed from the family one. Like we can say Samyun is just the listener. Better listener is Asma'u. To change it, like I said, the better listener, like I am adding the ER form to make it the comparative form. Asma'u means he is the better listener. And if we are, say, or you can say more of a listener, and the most listening is al asma'u, the best listener, and the list goes on. You can change a simple ism file from family one into its comparative, and then that comparative with the addition of al can be changed into its superlative form. Like you can see here in the example, وَيُعَذِّبُهُ اللَّهُ عَذَابَ الْأَكْبَرَ. Azabul Akbara here because it is mansub, that is why it is having a fatha. So then Allah will punish him with the greatest punishment. وَيُعَذِّبُهُ اللَّهُ الْعَذَابَ الْأَكْبَرَ. Then Allah will punish him with the greatest punishment. So you can see this ESC adding just because this comparative word is having an al. When when ism tabdil is mudaf, it gives a meaning of superlative. So we learned that there are two ways that superlative can be formed with the addition of al to ism tabdil, and when ism tabdil is mudaf, it gives the meaning of superlative. So here you can see this example. وَأَنْتَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. You are the best of the merciful, or you can say you are the most merciful. Like we can say alamu is more knowledgeable, so we are changing it into its superlative form, we'll say al-alamu means the most knowledgeable. So this is how you just take the comparative and make it the superlative. You add al, or you can make it mudaf. The other way you can do it is by making it a mudaf. So like akbaruhum, yeah, or you can say akbaruna means the greatest of them. Akbaruna, the greatest of us. So like that, you can take the comparative Akbar, and you can just by uh, just following these two things, you can change that word into a superlative form by adding an al to ism tafdeel or making it a mudaf. So when you make idafa, if it is a comparative, it will actually become a superlative. Just that's it. The most knowledgeable of the people, you can add again like alamun nasi. So that word becomes with the idafa, the word alamu simply becomes mudaf and it becomes the superlative form. So we learned uh, three things about you can say these ism tafdeel, that we see the hamza in the beginning, and the context will tell you that it is not fail mudari with the meaning as well, and that it's comparative and it could be more of a doer or more of a done to. Like I said, it gives it can be passive or active. Uh, like more of a hitter, or the one who gets hit more, or the one who praises more ahmadu, or the one who's praised more. That's the second thing. The third thing that we learned, that there are two ways to make a sim tabdil into superlative, that we add al, and we can change it into mudaf to these are the two ways to make it superlative. And finally, that it's mamnu min as-sarf under most circumstances. As I mentioned, that mostly we see them mamnu min as-sarf, but there are two ways that they can be fully flexible. And we see that what are those two things, that they can take kasra when they are with the al and when they are mudaf. So then this in this way they can be fully flexible. So now let's again, we are going to practice some more for superlative now. We did for era for the comparative. Now we are going to see ism tafdeel as a superlative, that how it is used. فَيُعَذِّبُهُ اللَّهُ الْعَذَابَ الْأَكْبَرِ. We can see here فَيُعَذِّبُهُ. We see here that it is harf atf. We know that fa is a harf atf, and فيعذب is a فعل مضارع مرفوع بالضمة, وها is a ضمير متصل. We see that they are, this is attached to يعذب, and في محل نصب, because we know that uh, then he will punish. Who punish? Him. So him is a مفعول به, so it is in the place of مفعول به, so it will be في محل نصب. And we have learned about this muakkar and muqaddam. So this is muqaddam because it is before the file, because we have this is jawazan, we have an outside doer, we have found an outside doer, the Allah lafzul jalala is outside doer, file marfu lit ta'zim bid damma, and al azaba is a maf'ul mutlaq here. We have learned that when an extra that maf'ul, that is you can say that rhymes with the, or it has the same root letters as its fail, that is a maf'ul mutlaq. So you can see yu'azzibu is a fail here, fail mudari, azzaba yu'azzibu, and we have a maf'ul mutlaq azab. So it is, that is why we will name it as maf'ul mutlaq, and it is mansub bil fatha, as you can see, and it is also mawsuf here, because we see there that this superlative is used as a sifa here. Azab al akbar, the greatest punishment. Sifa lil azab mansub bil fatha, because it will follow all the qualities of its mawsuf. So we can see al here and al here, so that's you can see that they are all this sifa is following the mawsuf. So superlatives used here, فَيُعَذِّبُهُ اللَّهُ عَذَابَ الْأَكْبَرِ. So there are the few things that I wanted you to know about Isim Tafdeel. And now we are going to see that how their dual and the plural forms are formed. Uh, we can see that here you can see the singular, dual, and plural form. Here the default pattern afalu is used, afalani, afalaini, afalaini. This is the nasab and jar pattern, afalani. And the sound plurals, it can have the sound plurals or it can have a broken plurals on the pattern of afailu. So here you can see afalu is afalani, afalaini, afalaini. Sound is afaluna, afalina, afalina. Then broken is afailu. So for the feminine, we see here Fola, we know that it is on the pattern of the feminine, is on the pattern of Fola. Its dual form will be Folayani. And then we have its nasab and the jar Folayani, Folayani. Sound versions are Folayatun, Folayatin. We can see here they are fully flexible. They are fully flexible. Afaluna, afalina, afalina, folayatun, folayatin, folayatin. Now here you can see it is taking the dhamma and the tanween. Broken are afailu and its broken pattern is for alun. You can see again it is fully flexible. This is partly flexible and this is fully flexible. You can apply this to our default word akbaru. We can see here akbarani, akbaraini, akbaraini. Then sound is akbaruna, akbarina, akbarina. Then we have the broken akabiru. The feminine version is kubra. We can have the dual form kubrayani, kubrayaini, kubrayaini. And then we have the sound plurals that is kubrayatun, kubrayatin, kubrayatin. And then we have the broken that is fully flexible, kubarun. We can see the feminine one is the fully flexible, while the masculine version is partly flexible, akabiru, and here kubarun. So this is Alhamdulillah, we are done with the basics of our Ism Tafdeel. There is more to Ism Tafdeel, inshallah, as we advance and progress in our advanced Nahu and Surf. Inshallah, we'll learn more things about Ism Tafdeel. For now, uh, this is all I wanted you to know about Ism Tafdeel. And there are other derivatives of Surf, inshallah, that are going to be talked about soon, inshallah. But I wanted you to have a special, the special session on this Ism Tabdeel just to know about it because it does occur quite a bit in the Quran. And inshallah, I'll see you in the next session. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.